This is so weird.
Look
Oh
at
my god. They're so strange. Such a strange animal.
Scientists have just unsealed a cave that had been closed off for millions of years, uncovering a shocking discovery. You might be curious, what could a cave this ancient possibly hold? Well, let's just say life has an uncanny knack for emerging in the most unexpected places. But this isn't the only cave hiding astonishing secrets. Get ready to explore 15 jaw-dropping discoveries from the depths of Earth's caves. What might we find? Could it be ancient artifacts, remnants of a lost civilization, or even a brand new species? Join us by hitting the subscribe button and let's delve in and uncover the mysteries. Number 15. Mobile Cave, a hidden marvel in Romania. Remained sealed off from the world for an astounding 5.5 million years until researchers finally ventured inside. Discovered in 1986 during a search for a site to construct a nuclear power plant, this extraordinary cave has since been tightly restricted by authorities. The environment inside Mobile Cave is unlike any other on Earth. A dark, toxic world with no sunlight, air rich in carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, and oxygen levels less than half of what we breathe above ground. Despite these extreme conditions, the cave harbors a thriving and unique ecosystem. In 1996, biologists from the University of Cincinnati identified 48 species in the cave, 33 of which exist nowhere else on the planet. These include spiders, pseudoscorpions, woodlice, centipedes, leeches, snails, and more. Life here has evolved in remarkable ways. Most creatures lack eyes and pigmentation, features unnecessary in perpetual darkness. Instead, they've developed elongated limbs and antennae to help them navigate their shadowy world. What truly sets Mobile Cave apart is its reliance on chemosynthetic bacteria, making it the first known land-based ecosystem powered by this process. Unlike most ecosystems, which depend on photosynthesis and sunlight, the bacteria in Mobile Cave derive energy from chemical reactions such as sulfate or ammonium oxidation. This adaptation mirrors the ecosystems found near deep-sea hydrothermal vents, though Mobile Cave lacks the symbiotic relationships between microbes and animals typical of the ocean floor. Even after decades of research, Mobile Cave holds many secrets. Scientists believe there are countless undiscovered organisms still hidden within its depths. These species could provide groundbreaking insights into evolutionary biology and redefine our understanding of where life can thrive. If life has found a way to exist in such a harsh, isolated environment, it sparks the imagination about where else it might be found, on Earth or even beyond, in the vast expanse of the solar system. Number 14. Altamura Man. Hidden deep within an Italian cave lies a stunning piece of history that sheds light on our ancient relatives. Meet Altamura Man, a 170,000-year-old skeleton unearthed in the Lamalunga caves in 1993. This incredible discovery left researchers in awe as it turned out to be the oldest Neanderthal skeleton ever to yield extractable DNA. However, studying it in detail proved difficult due to the fragile skull and its entrapment in the stalactites and stalagmites of the cave. To avoid causing damage, the remains were left largely untouched, but the story didn't end there. The real breakthrough came when scientists succeeded in extracting DNA from Altamura Man's right shoulder blade. These ancient genetic fragments, potentially 170,000 years old, hold the key to unlocking unprecedented insights into Neanderthal life. Altamura Man stands out as more than just a fossil. According to one paleontologist, it is the most complete non-human skeleton ever found, with nearly every bone preserved from head to toe, an extraordinary window into the distant past. Yet, piecing together Altamura Man's story wasn't straightforward. While its face and skull reflect classic Neanderthal traits, Some features, like its enormous brow ridges, were unlike anything seen in other Neanderthals, complicating the process of identifying its lineage. Adding to the challenge, much of the skeleton remains encased in rock, limiting detailed examination. Radiocarbon dating revealed astonishing results, placing the skeleton's age between 130,000 and 170,000 years. Despite this, it's worth noting that these bones, while remarkable, are not the oldest Neanderthal fossils ever discovered. Number 13. 170,000-year-old roasted vegetables. Imagine discovering roasted root vegetables that are a staggering 170,000 years old. These ancient foods have opened a window into the diets of our early ancestors, revealing unexpected insights. Deep within the Border Cave in South Africa, scientists uncovered charred vegetable fragments buried beneath layers of ash, making these the oldest roasted root vegetables ever found. Early humans weren't just devouring meat from mammoths and saber-toothed tigers. Their true paleo diet also featured roasted vegetables, full of vital carbohydrates. Archaeologists now believe that our ancestors enjoyed a balanced diet, mixing both carbs and proteins, and showcasing a surprising variety in their meals. But how did researchers find this hidden treasure? The process was no easy feat. A dedicated team had to sift through numerous charred remains, carefully examining them under microscopes. After years of meticulous detective work, they identified the charred pieces as rhizomes from the Hypoxis genus. Rhizomes are plant stems that grow underground, hidden beneath the Earth's surface like secret treasures. So, what did these Hypoxis rhizomes taste like? They weren't exactly like your average potato. With a flavor similar to yam, they offered a unique and starchy delight. It turns out early humans regularly enjoyed these roasted vegetables, evidenced by the large number of rhizome fragments found in the cave, suggesting they were a staple in their diet. This discovery challenges the idea that our ancestors were purely meat eaters. The myth that early humans only survived on animal flesh is quickly debunked. They clearly valued plant-based foods as well. It seems balance was just as important for our ancient ancestors' health as it is today. However, not all Hypoxis rhizomes are created equal. One species, Hypoxis hemerocalidea, also known as the African potato, has a bitter taste and is more commonly used for medicinal purposes rather than eating. It's likely that the people of Border Cave enjoyed a more flavorful variety, such as Hypoxis angustifolia, with its white edible rhizomes that were much more palatable. Number 12, 175,000-year-old stalagmite cave. Deep in a cave in southern France, an incredible discovery awaits. An ancient, fire-scorched ring of stalagmites that are jaw-dropping 175,000 years old. This find reveals that our long-lost cousins, the Neanderthals, were far more skilled than we ever imagined. The cave itself holds some fascinating details that will leave you astounded. Located 30 miles from Toulouse, France, archaeologists uncovered nearly 400 stalagmites, carefully stacked to form not one, but two circular structures. And these structures were found deep inside the cave, an astonishing 1,102 feet from the entrance. So, what did these structures look like? One was a perfect 7-foot wide circle, while the other had an unusual oval shape, about 15 feet wide and 22 feet long. But the most surprising discovery? Both rings showed clear signs of being scorched by fire. The big question remains, why were these structures set on fire? It's a mystery that has experts stumped. What's truly groundbreaking about this find is how it reshapes our understanding of Neanderthals. For a long time, we thought they were primitive cave dwellers, but this discovery proves they were much more advanced. The creation of these structures wasn't a solo task. It involved teamwork, planning, and social organization. Picture the scene. Some Neanderthals carrying torches, others transporting materials, and all of them working together like an early construction crew. While we can't say for certain what these structures were used for, they could have served as temporary shelters or had some kind of spiritual meaning. What's certain is that building them required skill, organization, and a creative touch. These Neanderthals were not just cave dwellers, they were the architects of their time. This discovery shows us that Neanderthals were just as capable as early humans in many areas: technical skills, hunting, fishing, and even artistic expression. Who would have thought our ancient relatives had such a knack for construction and creativity? Number 11. Chave Cave, France. A fascinating discovery inside a cave in France has shed new light on the ancient origins of human-dog companionship. Footprints dating back 26,000 years suggest that the bond between humans and dogs might actually predate the last ice age. This challenges the long-held belief that dogs were domesticated around 15,000 years ago. These footprints were found side by side, revealing that a young child and a wolf or dog walked together through the cave. These ancient tracks stretched across 150 feet and were preserved in hardened clay for millennia. The footprints were first discovered in 1994 by Jean-Marie Chave, the very person who named the cave. Imagine the scene. In the depths of Chave Cave, a Paleolithic child, about 8 to 10 years old, wandered the dark passageways with a wolf or dog as a companion. Researchers also found evidence that the child carried a torch, as a charcoal stain was left behind where they had paused to clean it. But this discovery is more than just a glimpse of companionship between a child and a canine. It reshapes our understanding of when and how dogs became man's best friend. For years, it was believed that wolves began to gather around human farms at the end of the last ice age, eventually leading to domestication. However, recent archaeological discoveries and advanced DNA testing paint a different picture. New theories suggest that humans and dogs evolved together over time. The footprints in Chave Cave provide evidence that the bond between us and dogs stretches back far earlier than we ever imagined. Instead of humans taming and breeding wolves, it appears that our relationship with dogs was based on mutual benefit and respect. Early cooperation between humans and wolves likely stemmed from shared social structures, hunting strategies, and a deep understanding of each other's behavior. It's mind-blowing to think that humans and dogs have been partners and friends for over 30,000 years. The lack of dog or wolf imagery in the cave paintings might suggest that these early wolf dogs had a special symbolic role, distinct from other animals. This timeless bond between humans and dogs offers a new perspective on our shared history, one that has lasted for millennia. Number 10. Oldest wine ever. They say wine only gets better with age, and what could be more fitting than discovering what may be the oldest wine ever found? Researchers stumbled upon a truly unexpected find in a cave in Sicily. Evidence that winemaking in Italy dates back over 6,000 years, completely reshaping our understanding of its ancient origins. But this discovery wasn't just about ancient grape farming, it was actual wine residue. The breakthrough came when the team uncovered 5 organic samples of wine inside terracotta jars from the Copper Age. These jars, left in a limestone cave on Sicily's southwest coast, had been there for centuries, dating back to the 4th millennium BCE. But how did they know it was really wine? The answer lay in the discovery of tartaric acid and its salt, known as cream of tartar, key ingredients found in grapes during the winemaking process. This was the golden proof, confirming these jars were definitely used to store wine. This find carries major implications. It represents the earliest known evidence of wine residue in all of prehistoric Italy. Scientists had long believed that winemaking in Italy began around 1200 BCE with the influence of ancient Greek colonization. Now, That timeline has to be pushed back by 3,000 years. History is being rewritten right before our eyes. Sicily, a region today renowned for its wine culture, can now proudly claim a far more ancient winemaking legacy. Number 9. Bird carving. In 2003, deep within the Hollifer's Cave in Germany, a small yet incredibly significant carving of a bird was uncovered. But this wasn't just any bird. It was over 30,000 years old and carved from mammoth ivory. This piece of art may very well be the earliest known representation of a bird ever found. Beyond its incredible age, what makes this carving so remarkable? This discovery has offered new insights into the migration patterns and spiritual beliefs of our ancient ancestors. The bird depicted in the carving was no ordinary creature. It had the body of a water bird, the head of a horse, and the majestic mane of a lion, creating a truly fantastical image. Birds, especially water birds, were considered powerful symbols in shamanic traditions, and this carving provides strong evidence of that belief. The craftsmanship of this bird is truly stunning. Its design is so lifelike that it almost seems ready to take flight. The finely detailed head, eyes, and elegantly extended neck give the carving a real naturalistic appearance. The artist who created it would surely be amazed to know that their work is now recognized as the oldest known bird depiction. But this bird wasn't alone. A similar carving of an owl was found in a cave in France, revealing that early humans had a strong affinity for avian art. While Neanderthals created their own cave paintings, these carvings were made by early modern humans, as confirmed by research. Carbon dating confirmed that these remarkable pieces were carved between 28,000 and 35,000 years ago. These bird figurines may be small in size, but their significance is immense. They provide us with a fascinating glimpse into the world of our distant ancestors, shedding light on their culture, spirituality, and artistic expression. Number 8. Extinct bird. Back in 1987, a crew of archaeologists from the Speleological Society of New Zealand unearthed a claw from a bird that had long vanished from our planet, the moa bird. But it wasn't just bone and talons. Muscles and flesh were still sticking onto the claw's bony remains. These moa birds were no laughing matter. They used to roam the lands of New Zealand, and there were 8 different species of them. Some were about the size of an average turkey, while others were massive, reaching heights of 12 feet and weighing as much as 500 pounds. Experts were able to date the claw, and it turned out to be around 3,300 years old, confirming that this bird was an ancient native of New Zealand. Naturally, when pictures of this flesh-covered claw made their way onto the internet, it caused quite a stir on social media. People were going crazy, commenting about how it looked like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. This is understandable, seeing as it's not every day you come across a preserved creature from the past. Even actor Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, chimed in on Twitter. He jokingly said that the claw resembled the hand of a rancor, a massive reptile-like alien creature from Return of the Jedi. Number 7. Translucent snails. A group of cavers and biologists found something never seen before while they were exploring deep in the mysterious Lucina Jama Trajama cave systems of Croatia. They discovered a brand new species of snails, but these weren't your typical garden variety snails. They were translucent. These translucent snails, belonging to the Zospeum genus, are a sight to behold. They call the dark depths of the cave home, staying put at a depth of 3,200 feet below the surface. And you might not believe it, but they're completely blind, living in total darkness. But it wasn't easy discovering these snails. The cave these explorers and biologists were exploring isn't your average spelunking adventure. It's one of the deepest caves on Earth, ranked among the top 20. It's the kind of place where you'd expect to stumble upon some rare creatures, and that's exactly what happened. As the team ventured deeper into the cave, collecting animal specimens along the way, they came across a tiny snail that was like nothing they'd ever seen before. They named it Zospeum thalassum, and it looked nothing short of extraordinary. The snail boasted a beautiful translucent shell, like a little dome-shaped work of art. In typical snail fashion, these snails were slow. They travel at a few measly millimeters or centimeters per week, and even then, they often move in circles. They like to graze at their leisure in their comfortable cave abode. When the team brought their newfound snail to taxonomist Alexander Weigand in Germany, he confirmed that this species was a total newcomer to the scientific world. It really is a whole new world, deep inside our planet. Number 6. Oldest bow and arrow. The oldest bow and arrow technology ever found was located in a cave in Sri Lanka. This incredible discovery dates back 48,000 years, making it the earliest evidence of archery in this part of the world. The explorers were digging around Fahi and Lena, a cave in southwest Sri Lanka, until they found something. The cave not only had arrowheads in it, but also some fancy decorative beads made from mineral ochre and marine snail shells. The interesting thing about this discovery is that not only is it a massive revelation for South Asia, but it might also be the oldest evidence of archery across the whole of Eurasia, showcasing how technologically advanced these people were. According to the researchers, this discovery tells us something pretty interesting about our early human ancestors. It seems like they knew how to adapt to different environments and had a diverse toolkit up their sleeves. We can't help but give them credit for being resourceful. The projectile points they found, made from animal bones, were a solid 48,000 years old, but they were discovered in a layer that was slightly younger, just around 14 years. The fashionable beads they uncovered turned out to be attached to the arrows using a bow and arrow technique. Can you imagine hunting squirrels and rabbits with arrowheads made from beads? Archaeologists are excited about this discovery as it goes against the idea that all human innovation originated in Africa and Europe. They're realizing that places like South Asia are also serious contenders when it comes to inventive techniques. Our ancestors in Sri Lanka were definitely way ahead of the curve. Number 5.9,000-year-old skeleton. Imagine discovering an ancient skeleton and finding out it's your long-dead relative from generations ago. That's exactly what happened to this history teacher in 1903. The ancient remains of a 9,000-year-old skeleton were discovered in a cave in Chester, England. Little did anyone know that this extraordinary find would later lead to an astonishing revelation. Years later, a history teacher named Adrian Target, residing just a stone's throw away, would be recognized as the deceased's direct relative, spanning an astonishing 300 generations. This remarkable connection has earned the skeleton the title of the world's most distant confirmed relative. Through DNA analysis along the maternal line, Adrian Target's genetic makeup was found to align with that of the Chave Man, the oldest complete skeleton ever discovered in Britain. Remarkably, the Chave Man lived during 7,150 BC, predating the advent of agriculture. This genetic connection between a modern individual and an ancient ancestor raises intriguing questions about the preservation and continuity of human genetic heritage. The surprising revelation emerged during the production of a television series called Once Upon a Time in the West, which delved into the archaeology of Somerset. As part of the show, DNA tests were conducted on 20 local individuals with ancestral ties to the region. Oxford University's Institute of Molecular Medicine performed the analysis, comparing the genetic material recovered from the pulp cavity of one of Chave Man's molar teeth with the DNA of the participants. The Goff's Cave in Cheddar Gorge, where the skeleton was initially found, holds a place of prime significance in uncovering Paleolithic human remains in England. This remarkable discovery has provided valuable insights into the early stages of human agriculture and challenges previous assumptions about the spread of farming in Western Europe. The remains of the Chave Man suggest a fascinating narrative of farming practices developing within the local population itself, counter to the prevailing belief that farmers migrated from Eastern Europe. This groundbreaking revelation forces a reconsideration of the complex interactions and cultural exchanges that shaped the trajectory of human civilization in prehistoric times. The life of the Cheddar Man would have been intimately connected with the dense forests and abundant wildlife of the era. As a hunter-gatherer, he would have relied on hunting deer, rabbits, waterfowl, and perhaps even fish, while also foraging for nuts, fruits, and edible roots. Cheddar Gorge, with its ready-made shelters, nearby forests, and natural springs, likely offered a bountiful and secure environment for his community, which likely consisted of extended families. Physically, the Cheddar Man would not have appeared out of place in our modern world. His resemblance to contemporary humans would be striking, as he could easily blend in wearing tailored clothes crafted from sewn-together leather or animal skins. While he lived too late to witness woolly mammoths, he existed before the dawn of agriculture and the radical shifts it would bring to human societies. Consider the fact that primitive Homo sapiens first showed up 300,000 years ago, but the most distinct anatomical difference they had was the size of their brain, boasting craniums as large as or larger than ours. Scientists believe that a fully modern human brain size only appeared roughly 100,000 years ago. When taking these facts into account, 9,000 years is a small amount of time, evolutionarily speaking. This is why the Cheddar Man would blend right into the current year. The remarkable familial link between Cheddar Man and Adrian Target surpasses any previously recorded connections to distant ancestors. Even the royal family's lineage can be traced back only to King Egbert, who reigned from 829 to 830 AD. In contrast, the genetic connection between Cheddar Man and Adrian Target spans an awe-inspiring expanse of time, revealing the enduring threads that connect us to our ancient roots. Number 4. The Giant Crystal Cave, Chihuahua, Mexico. A cave filled with crystals sounds like something out of a fantasy story, but sometimes the most unbelievable things are real. Deep beneath the Sierra de Nica mountain in Chihuahua, Mexico, lies a hidden treasure that sparks the imagination, the Giant Crystal Cave. Positioned 984 feet underground, this cave is a magical world brimming with stunning gypsum crystals that seem almost unreal. These magnificent crystals, towering like giant pillars, have been quietly growing for over 500,000 years. Some are so enormous they span across the cave, making the place feel like a real-life fortress of solitude, as imagined in Superman's world. Unfortunately, this crystal wonderland is off-limits to tourists, and for good reason. The environment inside is extremely hot and humid, making it a dangerous place. Even scientists don't have unrestricted access to the cave. So, how did this extraordinary wonder form deep under the mountain? Around 26 million years ago, faults in the region allowed magma to rise toward the Earth's surface, shaping the mountain and setting the stage for the formation of the crystals. Over tens of thousands of years, groundwater flooded the crystal cave. This water, pushed upward by a deeper magma chamber, contained a mineral called anhydrite. At temperatures higher than 136 degrees Fahrenheit, anhydrite stays stable, but as the temperature drops, it dissolves and changes into gypsum, a reversible process. The magma beneath the cave kept the water at the perfect temperature for crystal growth. However, over time, the water temperature dropped below 136 degrees Fahrenheit, causing the anhydrite to break down. This release of calcium and sulfate particles allowed new crystals to form. These particles combined to create a unique type of gypsum called selenite. The cave transformed into a breathtaking landscape of shimmering white selenite crystals, bathed in water and protected from extreme temperature shifts. These crystals continued to grow, undisturbed by the passage of time. Number 3. Crystallized human sacrifice, Actun Tunichil Muknal, Belize. Hidden deep within Belize is a cave called Actun Tunichil Muknal, or the Cave of the Crystal Sepulchre. This isn't just any ordinary cave. It holds a chilling collection of Mayan artifacts and some eerie discoveries. The cave was once the site of ancient human sacrifices, where the Maya performed rituals to honor their gods. As you venture inside, you'll find skeletons scattered among ceremonial objects and decorative offerings, with some of the remains even placed on altars. These skeletons span a wide age range, from young children to adults, and some have unusual, deformed skulls that hint at their ritualistic significance. What truly stands out is the remains of the Crystal Maiden. This 17-year-old boy, who was initially mistaken for a girl, met a brutal and horrifying end. His bones are covered in a layer of calcium crystals, giving him an eerie, otherworldly appearance, as if he were frozen in time. The cave dates back to between 250 AD and 909 AD, a time when the Maya believed this location was a sacred gateway to the gods who controlled agriculture and rain. To appease these powerful deities, they believed human sacrifice was necessary. Thankfully, human sacrifice is a thing of the past, but getting to this mysterious cave is still a tough challenge. Visitors must be in good physical condition, as you'll need to swim through waterways to reach the entrance. Only 2 tour operators are permitted to guide people through this national monument. If you're ready for a thrilling adventure and have the stamina to brave the waters, Untouched Muknal is the place for you. Just be ready to witness chilling sights and experience a history that will stay with you long after you leave. Number 2. Israel's Cave of Horror. The Dead Sea Scrolls weren't discovered all at once like some hidden treasure. Instead, they've been unearthed in thousands of fragments, with new pieces still being found today. Archaeologists have been uncovering these scroll fragments since the 1940s, and in 2021, a new discovery was made in a cave in Israel called the Cave of Horror. The cave earned its chilling name in the 1960s when the bodies of 40 Jews, killed by Roman soldiers in the 2nd century, were found. Fast forward to 2021, when researchers returned to this infamous cave, and what they uncovered was incredible. Not only new Dead Sea Scroll fragments, but also the mummified remains of a young girl who lived around 6,000 years ago. The newly found scroll fragments are written in Greek, with the name of God inscribed in Hebrew. These scrolls are believed to have belonged to Jewish rebels who took refuge in the caves after their revolt against Roman rule ended in failure in the 2nd century. Among the fragments were verses from the books of Zechariah and Nahum, which are part of the collection known as the Book of the 12 Minor Prophets. It's like piecing together an ancient puzzle. But the discoveries didn't stop there. Alongside the scrolls, rare coins from the time of the Jewish revolt were found, as well as an intact basket that's over 10,500 years old. Reaching the Cave of Horror is no simple task. It sits about 260 feet below the top of a cliff, so specialized teams had to be sent in to rappel down and access it. This operation was part of a larger effort to protect the site from looters who are constantly after these priceless artifacts. The Judean desert continues to reveal incredible finds, from the famous Dead Sea Scrolls to these new discoveries, making it feel like an ongoing archaeological adventure, uncovering the secrets of the past one scroll fragment at a time. Number 1. An axe murderer. Joseph Henry Loveless was no saint. Back in 1916, he was hauled off to jail on suspicion of murdering his wife, Agnes. But this man was cunning. Using a sneaky little saw blade hidden in his shoe, Loveless made a daring escape from jail and vanished into thin air. However, he was discovered in 1979 by a family, just not in the way you'd expect. The family stumbled upon a seriously disturbing find in Buffalo Cave, Idaho. They discovered a headless torso lying in a burlap sack. 12 years later, in 1991, someone came across a matching hand nearby. That sparked a search that eventually uncovered the missing legs and one arm. Bit by bit, the pieces of the puzzle started coming together. Finally, after 18 long years, they decided to put the body to a DNA test. It turned out to be Loveless. His own grandson, who was pushing 90, provided his DNA to confirm it for sure, solving the mystery for good. But nobody knows exactly how Loveless met his grisly end. Some speculate that Agnes's family, fueled by vengeance, might have tracked him down and served him justice, but the details remain shrouded in uncertainty. The ongoing exploration of caves around the Earth is monumental to understanding more about our planet and history. Who knows what we'll find next? Maybe it'll be the key to answering the details of evolutionary processes and the boundaries of life.